Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Lotta Ruutiainen, frontwoman for Luna Kills, to the podcast. Luna Kills' Sharptone Records debut, Deathmatch, is out this Friday. Luna talks about her musical journey in Finland and finding her voice and scene, the unique process in which the band chose its name, the themes on Deathmatch, the album artwork inspiration, and more. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of As the Story Grows. If you're brand new, welcome. Thanks for listening. You can find links in our show notes to our Patreon page, our Discord server, and our mailing list. And if you aren't subscribed to the podcast, I would love it if you subscribed on your podcast platform of choice. Enjoy today's conversation with Lotta from Luna Kills.
I am losing my head. I can't seem to shake off this feeling that we're dying to be hopeless. I need sugar rush, give me sugar rush.
How are you doing today?
Oh, basic one. Great, thank you. It has been a long day for me, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit out of it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. A lot of press.
Yeah, work and everything. So I don't know how much the time is there, but we're like 8 p.m. here. So
yeah, it's only 1 p.m. So
okay, so you're doing great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm great midday.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging out. Where in Finland are you?
I'm in central Finland, in Kuopio, so that's like right in the middle of Finland.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Is that where you grew up?
Yeah. This is the town I was born and where I'm currently living and where I'm planning to live.
Yeah. Is there a lot of, I don't know whether it's in Finnish culture, a lot of like moving and kind of leaving home, or do people generally just stay where they are?
Yeah, there is. It's like the culture is like we are going to move from our parents' home when we are like super young. So I don't know, do people tend to stay there in their hometowns? It depends whether you're planning to like study something or get a job in different kind of fields, because obviously we have like more job opportunities in the southern Finland than in the northern part of it. So that's pretty basic here. But I like the peace and quiet here. So I like to travel, but then I like to come back here and
yeah. There's something about being a musician and touring it's like it's great because you get to see everywhere, but like it's good to come back to something familiar and what is home, and, right?
Like peaceful and more quiet, Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What was growing up like?
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty basic, I would say. We get a great music education.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we have like 4 seasons and a lot of like outdoors time with snow and cold and dark winter times and that. But yeah, pretty basic, I would say.
Nice. That's awesome. You said great music education. Like, what got you started into music, either as a performer or as a fan?
Well, I would say my dad is my number one influencer, because he used to listen to kind of like different sort of bands and artists, and he had like this huge variety of different kind of music he listened to. So I think I picked up on that. And like I said, we have great music education. We have music education from the like primary school onwards. Okay. So we get to try different instruments, and we get to form bands and everything. So that's cool. So that was something which played a huge part in that as well. And obviously being a fan of different bands, and I was like huge Nirvana fan, Kurt Cobain fan. So that was probably the catalyst for me to want to be a rock star, quote unquote. But yeah.
Were you doing like, I don't know if you have like choir or musical theater or something over there? Like, was that something you were involved in as like a vocalist?
Yeah. I was in a church choir, actually.
Okay.
Finland isn't like a very religious country at all, but that was a place where we had like choir, and so that I attended that one. And but that wasn't for me. I was always a little bit of a diva, I would say. I wanted solo parts, and
Sure.
that was my story in like primary school as well. So I wanted to always be the solo lead singer. So pretty much that. It was a little bit sad for me because I didn't have like anyone to form a band with when I was younger. So the band thing kind of came on a little bit later, but that was the basis.
Yeah. Was there, I mean, if you're like in a small town, like, was there a good music scene when you're like a teenager to like go see local shows or touring bands coming through? Or was it like a struggle and you got to drive and like beg your parents?
Yeah, we had decent scene, but I wasn't a part of that scene because I was I was in a different school than where the cool kids would be and the kids with bands. Okay. So that's my teenage years tragedy, that I really wanted to be in like bands or something, but I didn't know anyone who like played or anything. And we're like this isn't actually like the small town in Finland. We're like the sixth biggest like city in Finland.
Oh, okay.
So we had like a great live music scene here. But I actually wasn't big on going to see bands when I was younger. I would usually just watch them like from YouTube. Like I said, I was a huge Nirvana fan. So obviously when I was growing up, Nirvana wasn't a thing anymore. Yeah. So I had to watch YouTube and see the shows there. And probably I'm a little bit of an like introvert, so it was easier for me to be at home and watch the shows from a safe distance.
Well, then you wanted to be in a band for a long time. How does Luna Kills get started?
Well, it got started when my cousin, who is the band's guitarist, Samuli, he convinced me to sing in a band he was about to form, and it wasn't Luna Kills, it was a different project. But then we kind of understood that we work really well together, and we could make music really fast, and we had like same ambitions and goals regarding music. So we formed a band, and then we played shows and made music with a different sort of band. And in 2019, we formed Luna Kills with our bassist joining, and the things snowballed from there.
That's cool. You've mentioned Nirvana a bunch of times, but like when this band starts, what are the influences you're kind of bringing together? And like, was there a conversation about like genre or style or sound, or is it just kind of a natural confluence of everybody's influence? And
this is gonna be like ridiculous answer because we all love the same sort of music, but when the band was starting, we all were in our like different eras, I would say. I was in my like Lana Del Rey era. I had just found out Lana Del Rey, and I was so in awe of her and her songwriting. And our bass player had like this. It's a little bit of a meme, but he loved Yngwie Malmsteen. So that was like a long-running joke with us that we had like Yngwie Malmsteen influence. And our guitar player then, I think he listened to a lot of like blues and like the Strokes type of like bands. So there was not like a super like coherent bunch of music we were drawing from, but we really did all love like Muse. So that was one of the biggest influences when we started, and the one we agreed on. Yeah, but it has evolved. So we are obviously a little bit in a different page, but in a similar mindsets about what is the inspiration nowadays, more than back in 2019.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, and kind of where your sound has evolved to now makes sense. There's like a post-pandemic, I don't know, new metal resurgence and boom with bands who like, I don't know if it's just like they're, I mean, I'm older, so it would be like bands now, their parents' influence on them of like Slipknot, Linkin Park, and like Korn or whatever, like, and that music is kind of having this resurgence in new bands. It's interesting to see the cycles and how it just repeats.
Yeah, and it's actually funny because we have listened to a lot of like Linkin Park and Deftones and Korn and these bands, but we actually just found about them. I didn't listen to them when I was younger, and none of the other band members as well weren't, except from Slipknot, because that's like a classic. but we actually found out about like Linkin Park's and Deftones music, and it's really sick, and that is definitely influencing us right now.
Yeah, but it's funny. I was listening to your record last night. My kids were doing their homework. I was making dinner. Your record was on. Sugar Rush was playing, and my daughter went, "Can you add this to my playlist?" And I went, "Sure." And she went, "This sounds like Taylor Swift."
No,
and I was like, "Really?"
that is the like weirdest I've ever heard about music, but I'm taking that's a new one for the books.
Yeah, you can put that on the album blurb. Maybe more people will be like, "Oh, cool," and download the album.
It has influence from Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That's a huge market for us, right?
Oh yeah. What was the inspiration for the band name?
When we were naming the band, we thought that it needs to be like cool. That's a boring one, but it needs to be like cool. We wanted it to be like easy and cool. And we were actually thinking about Finnish people a lot, because in Finland, people tend not to know how to pronounce or write English band names very well. And we always get mixed up. So we were thinking about something easy. But as well, we are like sci-fi and gaming sort of bunch of people. So it was like a little bit of an inside joke about Death Star in like Star Wars. It's because Luna kills the nice moon, and there's the line that it's no moon, it's a space station. So that's the inspiration as well.
How'd you guys end up working with Sharptone Records?
Well, when we were like thinking about the upcoming record and pitching labels, the Sharptone has always been in our minds. I think when we were recording Here for the Drama, which is one of our oldest singles, we really were vibing this band called Dom Broco, which they are on Sharptone. And we were checking out in what label they were on, because the sound was so sick and the music was so inspiring. And then that is how we found out about Sharptone. And we actually joked back then, like, I also think it's kind of like manifesting this thing to happen. Because we thought that is a label that could really understand us, because we have had like super hard times in finding people that understand what we are trying to do with our music. And because we are a little bit of like genre-less band, and we like to experiment, and that is not the easiest thing to pitch with the music we have. So we were thinking back then that this is probably a label that could understand us. And when we were thinking about the labels, that's the first one I told about that I would like to like approach them. And they replied back. So that is how that went. But it was so cool at the moment when we actually got signed to them, because I was thinking back that moment when I Googled where was Dom Broco signed at, and I was Sharptone, and it was so cool.
Yeah, they're a great label that like they have a big umbrella of rock music and like heavy rock music that like kind of doesn't really fit within genres, so it works out nicely.
The world is spinning like nothing's wrong. Heading every single day I'm taking on. I cut you to pieces, I'll give it a go, cause the point is clear. Slay your enemies. I got that panic crawling in my sky. What the fuck's that to stop the
Debut album's called Deathmatch. Where'd the title and kind of lyrical inspiration for this album come from?
Well, the lyrical themes in this album are about mental health struggles, and there's a lot of about like depression and anxiety and stuff like that, which I tend to write from my own experiences. And the Deathmatch title came from, actually, it's a gaming term. It's type of game where you have to kill everybody before they kill you. So it was kind of fitting as well about you being inside your head and just trying to, survive with your own thoughts. So that was the inspiration for the title. as well. Obviously, we are, like I said, big gamers, so that was a fun reference as well. But yeah, that's basically what the album, what kind of themes and things we are like dwelling into in that album.
Nice. What was the inspiration for the album artwork?
I thought, obviously, I'm the one who made the album artwork, and I'm in it. The inspiration was like, I don't know, I just love making like certain type of art, and I wanted something that was a little bit like, that it made you feel like it's a little bit like old computer graphics or something. So because we have like a lot of like electronic elements and everything like that, and our visual aesthetic is like the early 2000s vibe brought to this day. So it was that, and I wanted it to be blue because of the themes and the emotional connotations that the color has. That was basically what I was thinking about.
Fun. I love the little content warning for death, blood, and violence.
Yeah.
It's fun. Album's out April 4th. You guys have a massive run through Finland and then all over Europe. Is that your plan to kind of focus on the European market this year and then see what happens?
Yeah, we are taking live shows wherever we can find them, and we can get them and where it makes sense to go. So yeah, definitely we're targeting Europe because we have done a lot of touring in Finland already, and we have done basically nothing in Europe other than the Netherlands. So that's the easy distance for us to travel from Finland as of now. But yeah, we are a live band through and through, so we hope to get more live shows everywhere that's possible. So yeah, I'm not like saying no to anything.
Yeah. Is there like, I don't know, I talked to one of your label mates about this, but do you kind of, or someone at the label, look at like, I don't know, Spotify data and kind of see where streams are and like have a strategy for like, okay, where are people listening to the band, where should we be going?
Yeah, obviously that's a huge part of it, but and it's wise to look at it in that way, and it also gives you some sort of insight where you should be promoting more, maybe. Yeah. But actually, we didn't really have that discussion when booking the tour. It was just overall we wanted to tour Europe, and we booked because of that.
Yeah, right.
And it's good to play everywhere you can when you're promoting your music. I think.
Yeah. I mean, you could kind of be an international band online with YouTube and Spotify, and then like the anticipation for you to come over build. And so when you finally make it to Japan or Australia or the United States, people are like just losing their shit ready to see you, right?
Yeah, it's funny because USA is our like biggest market. Actually, it's in part bigger than Finland, which is a second. So yeah, I hope that whenever we come to USA, there are people waiting, anticipating.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the song "Get Mad" on the record. At least on the version that was sent to me, you guys bleeped out the word "fuck" on it. Like, was that a creative decision, an intentional decision?
Yeah, it's creative decision, and it's also the worst bleep we ever made. It's intentionally like fucked up. Yeah, because the song itself is about like you can get mad if you want to, and it's a little bit like provocative song. So it was a little jab there.